Oh, God.
Oh, that's a bad one. You fucked it.
You did it so fast.
Will got it.
Kind of, sort of.
It's fine. Okay, hello everybody. How you doing? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing all right.
God,
All right.
we're back really soon in our real world time.
It's true.
Yeah,
Not much time has passed.
like 3 or 4 days have passed. But I do have a funny story. So this is a twofer actually. Part one of the story is, remember I picked up the puppy last game.
Last game. Oh my
last
God.
time we talked about this guy.
Brain rot.
yes.
Yes. So I go to the same event that Hassan went to, the fundraiser for Gaza and Lebanon, and I have like a whole slew of stories from there. But there's this one thing I want to get to before we talk about everything else that happened there. But Austin on the Fear and podcast talks about. Did you watch the most recent one?
Yes.
You know the story with the car.
Yes.
Okay. He's such a bitch. Like, I was in the same building as he was, and I was in the same area. Like, saying that the entire building shook is hilarious. Like, there was a loud bang, and like he was he was in the green room when this happened, but no one else had any other reaction than, "Ooh, what was that?" So it was not that. Do you know the story?
Nope.
Okay.
I have not watched
So
it.
I bet you none of them know the story either.
Yeah. So what happened was, I go to this fundraiser, and it was like a really good time. I am not. I mean, like, this is the second aspect of the topic, but I'll give this part first. Halfway, it started off with like this comedy show, and then there was a break for like 30 minutes for people to just get outside because the venue was in this small room and it was fucking hot as balls. So people like went outside. And if you went back in early in the first break, halfway through, you hear like a really loud like squeal like of car wheels, and then you hear a really loud bang, and like one of the walls like vibrates.
Scary.
And then people like run out and see what's going on and so on. Turns out like this dude in like his Nissan Juke or whatever was drunk driving.
Big L.
And he like swerved out of the way of an incoming car, and he drove straight into the building right next to the venue.
Jeez.
Like he drove into the building, and then he backed out of the building and drove away.
What?
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
That's
being
crazy,
drunk is a
dude.
superpower. You don't get injured.
That's famously
Yeah.
not true, but
But that's what happened, and so Austin was like, "Oh my God, they sent someone to assassinate Hassan or shoot up this fundraiser," and I was like, "Dude, it really was like a small vibration, and you could hear like a car, like it was a car accident, like it was very obviously a car accident." And then both Will and Austin were like, "I would have left immediately," and Hassan had the same reaction. He's like, "It was a car accident. It's not that big a deal."
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see like being hyper aware if you're like at a political-ish kind of event and you like don't you're not used to that kind of environment. So I could definitely see like your mind jumping to the worst case in the first thing, right? So
But yeah,
I get the reaction, like, that's just
that was that.
that's actually crazy that like that person went back on the road. I think it would have been, my heart would have felt a little bit, I don't know. It would have felt better to me if you just bookended it with like, yeah, he crashed into the wall and he was unable to move his vehicle anymore.
No,
But no,
backed up.
drunk asshole gets back on the road.
Yeah.
No holds barred. What the fuck?
Somehow the
That's
car.
crazy.
I mean, it also speaks to the quality of a Nissan.
This
That
is not
thing
an ad.
tanked.
This is not an ad.
It tanked a
There's no
wall
ad.
Yeah.
and then tanked driving
That's a good
away.
point. That's a good point.
This
Didn't
is
consider
not
that.
an
Right? It's
Didn't
pretty
consider that at all.
impressive.
I guess we'll also just endorse drunk driving. You're always safe.
All I'm
So,
saying is,
nobody gets
if
hurt.
you have a beer and you driving is just funner. Top 3 favorite things to do when drunk.
Good God.
I'm so
Big L. Huge L.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, that was one part of the event. The other thing is, I have been to like a number of comedy shows, and they're like fine, but I think I just
Was this a comedy event?
so it turns out I didn't know half the fucking people in the lineup. Turns out the half the fucking people in the lineup that I didn't know were all comedians.
Okay, so this was kind of a comedy event then.
Yeah, the half of it was a comedy event, and the other half was a like straight up like hardcore political talk with like very serious people and Hassan and Felix Biederman.
That's so
It was
random.
weird.
Feels
It was
very
kind of-
different.
yeah.
Like
That
the
feels
variety's
like they should
very.
have gone together. Like, so those were all the same event though?
Yeah,
And,
so
like, not
so
different
the,
events back to back.
no, it was
What?
the same event, and like it was four comedians. So two of them were like obviously way more professional than the other. Like they've been doing this for way longer. Like they're clearly professional comedians.
Okay.
And then the other two were definitely amateurs who were still
Interesting.
coming
Yeah,
up.
roast them.
I mean, I'm just saying. You can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like there's no issue with that. But like there was no seating, and I'm standing, and like it's. I think I like comedy shows to some degree, but I don't go out of my way to go to a comedy show. As I don't think I just vibe
Yeah.
with it half the time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those things that like, you'd have to be very committed to like go and like buy tickets and like
Yeah.
schedule it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Right. If it's like, oh man, I'm just like kind of browsing through Amazon, like looking at Prime Video, like what am I gonna watch? And there's something that I'm just like, yeah, well, whatever, let's see. Like, I heard this person's good or whatever. I'll like watch their special, but I don't know.
For
Like,
sure.
going to a comedy event, I don't think I.
And this doesn't mean
I
that
don't
there
think it's
are
my
no
thing.
comics in the rest of the world, but I feel like comedy in specific, like the form of stand up that exists, is a very American thing. I feel.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you think?
I guess I don't know many other.
Like Middle Eastern comedy is very much like very political, and it's almost like I feel like a lot of Middle Eastern comedies are like, you've got like a comedy TV show, or you're doing like satire or something. But like stand-up comedy, I can think of maybe a few comics that exist that do straight up stand-up.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean the only example of like non-American comedy that I've watched was every like Lunar New Year there's like a big like festival, and so like I forget the channel that it's on, but basically everyone sits down and like watch. It's basically like watching like. If everyone got together and watched like Sunday Night Football or something together, it's like a whole gathering,
Mhm.
and everybody watches like it's like skits and like things like that, like
Yeah, yeah.
performances, just like a big celebration. And like I've seen skits or like a little. It's like kind of like a play that's like mostly supposed to be funny, and like it. I mean. I'm sorry, y'all just aren't funny. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So bad.
That's what I'm used to too, like
Well,
something like that.
So it's bad. It's rough because I feel like the humor is. I just feel like so separated from that kind of humor. But the humor is always like something along the lines of like puns or like, oh, this moment is just like, and then you just like hit it with like an idiom or something, or like a comeback or something like
Yeah.
that. That's like very idiomatic or like. I don't know. It's weird because I feel like in Chinese at least, like I think like a pun goes like a really long way, which is weird because I feel like I don't know. First of all, puns I feel like are so like how do I say this respectfully? What is it? They're just like extremely low hanging fruit, right? Like the whole class of puns that are like dad jokes and stuff, like that's just been like beaten to death. And then on top of that, I feel like as a language, Chinese has like so much. You only have a limited number of like tones and like consonants that can pair with it. I.e., meaning that like even though you have like 10,000 characters or something that you could potentially know, there's only a very very small finite set of sounds that you can make per character. What I'm saying with all of this is like probabilistically there is like just higher chances for pun making, and so like I just find it very odd that it just hits so hard. I don't know.
Huh.
But also I just want to preface this with, by no means do I not like stand-up comedy. It's not my average thing that I go to. And
Yeah. No,
I also feel like pressure to laugh when I'm there.
That's actually why I don't like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
actually
get
like
that.
comedy in general, to be honest. I feel like if it's like too intentional, like I can't really stand it.
And I feel like that's the
So-
same thing there, like, right? When you go to these things, it's just like, oh, if I don't laugh, I'm the weird one
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
So-
I feel really weird and pressured to do it, and like if they're not that funny and I'm just like stone faced, I'm like, am I like trying to be like? I feel like I'm trying too hard to not laugh even. I don't know.
Yeah, you
There's
just
like-
start overthinking like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone? I got called out for not laughing
You
at
got
one point.
called out for not laughing.
They're like, "You're so stone faced," and I'm like, "I don't fucking know what to do for you here. Make better jokes." I don't know. I'm like,
yeah.
try harder. I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just like so I'm so brain broken, or like I've seen so many of this stuff that like if you like have like a setup, the setup is like always like, you know, thing that is like supposed to happen step 1, thing that is supposed to happen step 2, step 3, thing that was supposed to happen but didn't happen, and that like sort of change of like expectations is like extremely funny.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I guess like when you can tell a story like that, like when the story isn't necessarily supposed to be funny, it's just like I'm telling my experience but I'm being funny about it. I think
Yeah.
I fuck with that more.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I'm here to like spray you with jokes,
Yeah.
that's
That
tough
is,
shit.
Yeah, no,
that is
the-
what I said. Like, where two people were very clearly like professional comics because they did not spray you with jokes. They were like very funny stories that they told, or they
Yeah.
told in a very funny way. But then the other two, it kind of felt like I was getting hosed, and I was, you know,
Yeah, no, the storytelling aspect of stand-up comedy is definitely the best part, I would say. Like, you know, somebody has some weird experience and they're telling you about it in like their like fancy ways. Like that's fun.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But there was that, and then we had the after this, you know, Hassan went up with Felix Peterman.
Wait, so the comedy happened first?
the comedy happened first.
Well, I think
mean-
it'd be worse if it happened second, right?
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
agree.
true. But I don't know.
I just
feel
don't
like
think that these things just
match up.
yeah, no,
they,
not
like,
at all.
They shouldn't
This
have
is
happened at the
very
same
odd.
time.
I don't know how to help you with this. I'm not the fucking organizer.
Like if I'm going to one of these events, right, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be like a somber thing,
Yeah,
and I'm
exactly.
gonna learn, right, and then
Yeah.
I'm getting hit with jokes. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to do with this. Like,
their argument
my
was,
expectation has
political
been-
jokes?
Well, this is their argument. Well, that's what was funny because the two people who were very good. I'm not gonna name them because then you can just look up the event and see the people who I'm not talking about.
I see.
But the two people who were very good made jokes about the situation, making fun of, you know, the fucking Israelis. And like, or the situation of being like a one guy was Middle Eastern, and he's like, this is the situation of being like a Middle Easterner in like the climate right now, where he's like, oh, it's very much like I'm back, you know, being a 9-year-old during 9/11, and like just shit like that. Like they made jokes about the situation to, in their words, to like spite.
I see. So this is more of like a on topic related
Yes.
kind of thing.
But for
and
the-
some
Two
comics
of
did
those.
not do
No,
that
the other
very
two
well.
did not do that
I
at
see.
all. They just like, you know, went up and did their normal routine,
I see.
which is fine. But I was just like, this is very weird.
Okay.
I think, but if I were there though, I think I would start laughing because of how much they didn't fit in with the topic. Like you go in
Yeah.
there, like imagine you're us and like we're the podcast that's the opener for the fucking fundraiser for this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that would be pretty insane. We're up here fucking talking about delves and how Patrick isn't gold, and like the entire audience is like, wait, but like what?
How did I catch the stray here, man?
You always
Like,
catch a stray.
What's going on?
Yeah, so this was the preamble before the like panel comes up, and I was just like, okay, you know, that was a pretty light setup. Like their idea was, okay, we're gonna laugh, like we're gonna laugh in the face of what's happening. Sure. You know, then the thing happens, and then the panel starts, and it's like Hassan and Felix Biederman, who are the like least professional of this panel. Why? Because they had an American like reporter who's really famous who goes to like war zones, who's currently in Beirut.
Holy fuck.
While he was talking to us, like you hear an explosion in the background.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, right. So you also have like a lady who's a professor of like Middle Eastern studies, another woman who's a professor here at UCLA, and she does like she researches like activism and like overall ethnic like minority activism and like the plight of minorities in colonized countries. And like it's a really serious panel, and both Felix Biederman and Hassan were both like, I don't know why like I'm sitting here, kind of in like a weird way, but they made the best of it, and like the other two kind of yielded to their opinion, like, oh, this is interesting, like what do you guys have to say about this? And so basically they then just go through a lot of topics. No, you don't have to cover here, but like it just felt kind of funny because the whole event was just like, what the fuck is happening? And then there was the car accident, and then the LAPD shows up at one point and like goes in, they're like, hey, you guys need to vacate the area because there's a car and like, there was a whole car crash and we have to go find him now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
it was crazy.
It just seems like, I don't know, like three to five different people didn't talk to each other and just like dream this event up. Like this, I'm sorry, this like makes zero sense.
It makes zero sense. And the hair part is, and Hassan on his blog is like, yeah, I fucking showed up at the time when I was supposed to, which was 7:00. And he's like, and then I realized that there's a full there's 4 comedy sets, and then there's a break, and then I'm supposed to go up. So like,
yeah,
he was just standing in the back of the room, like, hi guys.
So who's like the main organizer of this event?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
Oh,
but they did a good job. Like ultimately, the whole point was to like raise funds. And I think they got like 30 to 40K total, which was great.
Nice.
This is by no means shitting on them. It was just a very, very funny event. Like again, and also cool that they got like newbies to the comedy scene to go up there, but
I'm sorry, this is not. Yeah, this is not the place.
It was not the place.
Yeah, it doesn't make quite
feel
much
like
sense.
it.
Like I feel like your first set needs to be at some fucking like a grungy like dive bar or something.
Right? Like somewhere fucked up, but like
Or apologies if that was not your first set, but
tough.
Yeah,
tough yeah,
shit.
True.
Tough shit.
It was an experience. And then who else? There was a couple of UCLA students there that I recognized. But overall, it was packed. Shit was really fucking packed. It was so fucking hot. It was the worst. But yeah. Also, that was the day. Like 30 minutes before I arrived there, I burned my hand.
Oh my god, dude.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Because actually more important than this fundraiser, actually. I can't even say that. I can't even say that with a straight face. Yeah, so like you burning your finger leads me into another fun topic, which is critically you left something else open when you did this to yourself.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you got fucking caught, buddy.
Yeah, so like
okay. So the full story goes, I open up World of Warcraft, and Patrick doesn't know that I'm playing World of Warcraft.
I know.
Will knows, because that was the whole point. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted to get to max level. I wanted to get like,
why wouldn't you tell me that you were doing
because you wanted to make it a fun thing where like,
you're just not having me around
dungeons or something. Yeah, like when you guys need dungeons, I was like, oh, we need a DPS, and then I show up, and it's like,
yeah, I think the plan was
cute.
basically to like jump you.
Yeah.
To be like, like you're leveling, Hassan's leveling up on the side, and then maybe one day we're like one DPS short of a raid or a dungeon, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I know this warrior guy. He kind of fucks.
Okay.
And then I show up, and it was supposed to be
that would have been really cute.
Yes, but everything went
but
to
then
shit.
he shows up with no damage meter, so he doesn't know.
Oh.
I don't actually know how good I am. Yeah, so the full story goes, I go to World of Warcraft, I click the play button, and then I don't know why fucking Battle.net does this. I have my shit on perma invisible.
Yeah, that doesn't exist though.
They asked me,
yes,
do you want to go invisible? And I missed it.
Yep.
The one time I missed it. So like I just missed the like stay invisible mode. And I'm like, it would have been fine because it would have been like max like a minute.
Okay, so as someone who is also perma invis rogue things, and then also Like I've seen that notification so many times. I think it is like, do you want to stay, like, continue to appear offline?
Yeah.
And there's the big blue one says yes, stay offline.
I know. I misclicked. I just like 100% misclicked.
Okay, so I think maybe it like double negatived. You hit like cancel.
Yeah, I think I clicked cancel rather than click stay offline.
I see.
I thought it was like a request of like, do you want to be online? I just didn't pay attention.
I see.
I play the game. It would have been max a minute. I go to the kitchen and I just take a piece of meat that I wanted to just leave there and sear for a while. So I had the oil really hot and everything, and I was ready to go. So I placed the piece of meat, and then I guess I didn't dry it off properly, and a piece of like there was steam at the bottom that like shoots out and fucking sears my hand.
Jesus Christ.
It's pretty gross.
It's rough.
And in the pain, I was like, "Fuck! I have to go like take care of this." So I put it in cold water. I get the ice pack ready, everything. So maybe like 15 minutes have passed, and I'm still in like pain. And dealing with this, and I get a message from Patrick in the group chat that goes, "I see all." and I'm in pain. I'm like, "Oh my god, fuck! Oh god, what am I gonna?" I'm like, "Oh no, you don't." And then he goes, "I see all," and I was like, "Shit!" And then he private messages me Discord with a screenshot of my character online and the location of the game. And the problem is
you got doxxed.
The location of the game is like you're basically almost completed with the campaign in the area.
Yep. Fucking found you.
I'm so sad.
You got hand striked from outside the game. That's tough.
I had a critical injury, okay?
I'm sorry that you burned yourself. That's rough.
This week sucked ass. I burned myself. Patrick noticed that I was online. I lost that. I had to run a Cyberpunk session with like 2 hours of prep. So much fucking shit. What else? League of Legends. My computer hates League of Legends, and
oh god, this was so funny. So for those that are keeping track, I played my 5 league games, right? That's correct. Yes.
So happy for you. Hell yeah.
I did it. Yes. And the majority of those were with Hassan last night, right? So we log in, right? I'm like, hey, let's play some fucking League of Legends, you know?
He said for the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time ever. And so I log on, right? And Hassan and I were in Discord, right? We're queuing into our first game, right? And on the load screen, Hassan goes, "Fuck shit, stupid fucking League of Legends. Hate this stupid game. I got disconnected. Now I'm never going to reconnect again. I have to reinstall the whole game." And he's just like, he's absolutely having a mental breakdown.
Before you even load into the game.
Before you even load into the game.
That's actually impressive.
I got so mad.
He's like, the game crashed. This happened to me before. I'm going to be banned for weeks. I'm so fucking mad. And he's like,
how are you going to get banned?
So for the they get. Oh yeah, I did not know that normal doesn't apply. I thought it's the same effect as like ranked.
Okay, I think it's just like more lenient. It's like
they didn't even give me a warning. They're just like, don't do that again. But like ranked, if you do it more than I think twice, you can start getting banned for hours.
So yeah, I play this for the first game, right? He's supposed to be there, but his character is not there. His character is just in the whatever the fountain. Yeah, is just in the fountain, not moving, right? And he's like, tell the people on the team that I'll be back. Don't remake. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Actually
so I
was
just
the
type
most
it out.
triggering thing known to mankind. You'll hear. Continue.
Yep. So I'm just like, I type it out, right? I forget at this point. I don't have chat enabled at all. So
God.
Whatever they may have said, I don't know. I don't know what they said. I have no idea.
Good.
So I'm just kind of there, right? And I'm just like, I'm doing Nautilus things. I'm in the bot lane, right? Just alone, fucking on my own. And the shit's just getting pushed to oblivion because, like, I'm just solo,
Poor guy.
And Hassan is just fucking letting loose on the mic. He's like fucking he's like, I'm gonna drive to Riot Studios.
He's saying all the slurs. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna make their carpet squishy with my blood and stuff like that.
I believe I said if I don't reconnect to this game, I'm going to change the lives of every Riot employee forever by doing something in a video game and making sure that their carpet is as squishy as possible with my blood.
Yeah.
And so it was a whole thing, right? And I'm just cracking up because like I'm getting stomped in this game, and Hassan's character is just in the well, and I'm just like, this is hilarious.
Send assistance. Yeah. But then so the reason why I said don't like tell them not to remake, it'll be fine, is because I can download League of Legends really, really quickly. So I downloaded League of Legends, everything worked. The game opened he was 3 minutes into the game. Because I knew immediately what happened. I immediately uninstalled. I immediately clicked reinstall. I did it frame one. So 3 minutes, and then I just see the reconnect button. And I shit you not, I am fucking spamming the reconnect button at 1,000,000 times per hour. The thing would go, it would pop, and it would not reconnect. And this stayed for the entire match. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Turns out that League of Legends, it refuses to update the game while a game is happening. So that means it installed the game, but it didn't update the latest patch.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So you have a patch mismatch and you can't rejoin them.
Yeah, so
That's
what's
awesome.
happening is for 30 minutes, I'm spamming reconnect, and it's not working.
Okay, so that fucking sucks and is extremely funny, but also I can't believe you said don't remake. This is just crazy.
Because I knew I could. I mean, it was I would have been back in the game 3 minutes. It's an unranked match.
That's what I'm saying. It's unranked. It doesn't matter. Just remake.
Will, so you don't understand. Hassan is so used to reinstalling League of Legends, right? Because he quit and then rejoined, and then quit and rejoined. He knows he can do this within 3 minutes. He's just done it so many times.
What? Wait, what the? Why the fuck is it? Is it just breaking all the time, or are you quitting and then you can't handle it?
So okay, first of all, I am also quitting and I can't handle it. But What turns out what is happening is that League of Legends' most recent update contains something that is actually fundamentally broken. And if you have Windows 10 Professional on your computer, which I do, it triggers the Windows 10 something or whatever, and it blocks the anti-cheat software. And because it blocks the anti-cheat software, League of Legends I'm not letting you fucking join this game. So I had to do all this Googling, and then there's a whole guide on League of Legends' official website, on Riot Games' website, on what to do to turn all those settings off. But they couldn't have let you know, that's the thing that bothers me. It could have just been a pop-up. Hey, you have Windows 10. You have this version of Windows 10. You have to do this to make sure the game doesn't crash randomly.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally reasonable. Counterpoint, their client barely functions.
True.
The fact that anyone makes it onto the Rift consistently is a fucking miracle.
It's fair. It's fair. But it was.
I will say, what is up with the fucking launcher?
It's
what?
Bad.
It has not improved since I played my first game in 2008.
It's
gotten worse.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's the laggiest thing I've ever experienced in my life too. If you click on a tab, it takes seconds.
Well, if they had to make a build from scratch, that means they have to
hire people.
They would have to not let the game be on for a certain amount of time, and that would make people go crazy.
Well, I mean, you just fucking patch that shit, right? They have maintenance patches, right?
Okay, imagine for a second, because we don't actually have to imagine.
Their patches are live.
Yeah.
They're just hotfixes.
No. They'll do full-on big-ass patches.
Yeah.
And they will go the patch will be when you're in a game, it will mention you have to restart your launcher because the patch will be live in your next game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they have a server that freezes for everybody who's logged in right now.
Nah, just take all that shit offline for a couple hours.
Oh my god. I don't think you understand.
So imagine
it would cause a terrorist attack.
So seriously, I mean, for WoW players, they're already used to weekly reset. That should take an hour.
It's like a maintenance, yeah.
Okay. But the moment it's more than 1 hour.
I mean,
what the fuck are they doing?
I get it.
3 hours. I am going to go to their homes and kill everybody. 5 hours.
You see,
holy shit! Where is Blizzard HQ? I'm going to bomb the shit out of it. This is the players, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. No. I understand that. That is how WoW players react to long maintenance.
So imagine someone who has had access to this toxin their entire life, and you're like, just 1 second, bud, could you like just not play for like just yeah, there you go. They don't even have to be playing,
like,
just the fact that
exactly.
they can't.
If I knew that the league servers were down and I'm not even, I'd be mad. I'm like, what
Yeah.
if it's down before I get home?
It's literally like never happened.
Dude, that's
With
crazy.
the except-
that's
No, it
that's
happened
psycho.
like once or twice, but they got DDoSed. They got DOSed. Not DDoSed. They got DDoSed.
Yeah.
My bad.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah, somebody like
That's-
tried to attack the Riot servers.
that's crazy.
It's the most popular game.
I'm just so used to like, like every Tuesday we're just not able to play the game for a little bit.
Yeah, I was rudely awakened by that because one of the Tuesdays I couldn't make it to work. No, it was when I was sick. I got sick last week, or like the vaccines and everything. I got a vaccine injury.
That's right.
And it was a Tuesday, and I wanted to play World of Warcraft, and I texted Will. I'm
Big
like, why
L.
the fuck is this shit down? And
Yeah.
Will just goes,
This
I
is
have
just
to
a
explain,
weekly occurrence,
This,
yeah.
this is just what happens sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
It's
okay,
fucking
but
cursed.
it's just
but then the comment sections just keep going and going and going.
I
It's
don't
tough.
like it. It shouldn't
Yeah.
have. They like you.
It
telling
shouldn't
me-
happen.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So a weekly one should.
so you know
big
what's-
update? I'll give them.
So the weekly ones are usually less than an hour. Like standard weekly ones are pretty fast, right?
And critically, they're like during the daytime. So PST, maybe like what is it, like 8 a.m.?
Yeah, it's
9 a.m.?
7 to 8 is
There
the
you go.
typical maintenance.
So like
schedule.
if you're playing during that time any fucking way, it's like, my brother in Christ, why?
yeah, go get some breakfast. Go outside for a
Listen,
second.
Listen,
And this is
look. I'm gonna be honest. I play League of Legends at 5 a.m. on Wednesday.
Okay, well, that is
Bro.
critically a you problem, right? Second of all, this is not a this is also like, server like what is it? This maintenance is basically reserved for NA servers because we're first, right?
Yeah,
Because
we are.
all of
Hell
the
yeah,
other
we
shit
are.
after that, the EU and like, Chinese servers, everybody doesn't have to deal with this shit.
Yeah, it's like instant basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just the NA servers that are kind of
Wait, why don't we make the EU ones first? Fuck them.
Interesting. So you want them to be even further behind.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, of course.
Sus.
we could talk. I mean, that would be kind of an interesting decision to make them go first. What argument do you have for that?
That way I get to play my game.
Oh, I see.
That's the
Is
only.
it just a downtime problem? Is it something that you want to minimize downtime on? Because if they go first, that means that you get the patch after them.
That's okay. It's like an hour later, right?
Well, not necessarily.
No.
It's somewhere around like 5 to 7 hours,
That's
I
right.
think.
That's fine. I mean, they clearly need the help, given that they didn't make it to World First.
Okay, so traditionally, though, this is not the case. I think NA actually still has like a losing record.
All
of
I'm
World
saying
Firsts.
is you're as good as your last game, and the last game they
Okay.
lost. So
Okay.
that's all that matters. Look, all I'm saying is last year's champion is last year's champion.
Ain't this year's champion? No.
No, this is
No,
true.
sir.
This is true. Yeah. Reasonable. Yeah.
All I'm saying is, like the Tampa Bay Lightning, they ain't looking too hot right now.
Okay, well, that is a
All right. Yeah. This is a very different
that is a
topic.
different
Yeah. It's
reason.
a
All
very
I'm saying
different
is,
topic.
look, the rest of the country didn't get a hurricane. We're clearly winning in this rotation of, who got hit by a hurricane. Who
Bro,
didn't.
last year we did get hit by a hurricane.
We did, but nothing happened to us. We were fine. It was like light rain.
Actually,
luckily,
this is something that what is it? I've been cooking for a second. So I think this new hurricane definitely created by the government.
Yeah, of course.
Very easy.
100%.
And I finally understand what's going to happen is the U.S. finally said, actually, fuck Florida. Your best use case, bud, is we summon this hurricane and then we throw you, the landmass, at Cuba, and that's how we fix the
We
situation.
take out Cuba
That's
with
right.
Florida.
We throw it at them.
I have no reasonable counter argument.
I honestly,
I've got none.
Yeah.
This must be the case.
Right?
I think that's fair. Yeah, it's
Or knowing how we work, it's like, we're gonna summon this hurricane to destroy Cuba, and they're like, sir, it's off course.
it hit Mexico. It hit
It's like,
Mexico
oh,
and
sorry,
bounced off.
Sorry, I dozed off when I was summoning it. I didn't know
yeah.
where it was going.
Actually, thank you for bringing up this hurricane because I have a tweet thing that I want to show you that I
You're the one who
saved.
brought up Tampa Bay, actually.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking
You
yourself.
shoehorned it in, but
I actually did not mean for that. I'll be honest.
wow.
I just did it for
Okay.
funsies. Look at
They
what they
weren't
did to
even-
Anderson Cooper.
Oh my
They
god.
set him out there.
No, he gotta go inside.
They sent his ass out there. And
All I can think is hello.
and my favorite, the tweet that's along with it goes, "Bro is hitting the Halo Reach armor lock stance."
Yo. Hey, yo, he's hitting the marble 3-point landing.
Just hell yeah, brother.
That's crazy. So
But yeah, no, they were last year's loser. So they're last year's winner.
They're not last year's winner.
We were also last year's winner.
No,
Who won last year?
okay. So most recently, it's the Florida Panthers.
No,
right?
no. I'm talking about World of Warcraft.
The fact that
Oh.
you thought he was.
Oh
He was
yeah, I
honest,
thought we
know-
were still
I know
talking
who-
about
I know
hockey. That's why you
hockey.
brought up hockey.
No, I brought hockey because it was funny.
No, you should have inferred by his tone. Because
Yes.
I inferred straight
I,
from
you
his
know
tone.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah. No. The winners before this one
Yeah.
was Echo.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually been like oscillating between the two for
Yeah,
a while, right?
I think
Yeah.
I think
Since the beginning of Dragonflight, it's been
the
one
loser gets the patch. That way it keeps it more dynamic. You know, you get like it's like being second place in Mario Kart. You get 3 coins. First place
That's
gets 0
crazy.
coins.
That's crazy. That's
Global
crazy.
release. Global release.
Yeah, just have it all happen at the same time.
Please, for the love of
Yeah.
God, why can we not do global release?
Wait, why don't they do global release? What's the argument for that?
I don't fucking know.
There are I think that Blizzard actually has some arguments about this. I don't think that the players like accept that they're reasonable arguments. But yeah, I'd have to like go back and listen to their responses or whatever. So
Yeah, no, I think it would be more interesting, dynamic. Or like fuck it, give it to China. China gets it first.
the fact that they're like 2 days behind is fucking psycho.
Wait,
by the way,
they're 2 whole days behind.
I think they're like at least 1 day at very least
That's
a
giga-
full day
wait, that's
behind.
so crazy.
Yeah, no, give it to China. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I would like third place gets the patch early. And then that's how it goes.
Also, the fact that China just got the game back goes like so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. First of
No,
all,
it's
it's
good.
actually crazy that it got wiped off the map.
Yeah.
Over there. Second of all, what is it? Like World 4th went to a Chinese guild.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
World third.
Method.
Another EU
Mhm.
EU guild. And like I don't know, there was like it was such a big deal when it got like wiped off because like everyone was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I'm so sad. I'm gonna go like park my character here and like have him fish here, like just to
Yeah,
remember
for all of
that.
eternity. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And
And then they came back and like fuck.
well, yeah. So that's the thing. I'm wondering about like, oh well, my character's gonna be deleted anyway, so I'm gonna trash and vendor all my shit and like be a naked dude in the middle of Orgrimmar.
Nice.
I
And
would've
so like
done
when you're
that.
like, oh, your character gets restored, like, you said what?
Say psych right now. Right?
what do you mean?
to before when I did that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah.
I had a quick so there is a big old hurricane that hit Florida yesterday,
Milton.
right? Milton.
Gross.
And I saw a headline that made me really remember that this is happening in Florida. So apparently there was some workers out on the road, right? And out of the storm surge came none other but an alligator.
Yeah.
And the alligator gave a little chomp to their tire and then swam back in the storm surge.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, I saw.
shit.
And not just that, it was also like apparently something similar happened during the rescue efforts, where the Coast Guard they came and drove up with a Humvee.
Yeah.
And apparently 2 loose pit bulls just appeared and they ate their tires and ran away.
Wait, pit bulls?
Yeah, 2 pit
And not gated? Wait,
No.
that's somehow more confusing. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just to, the state of Florida does not belong to humans.
No.
It belongs to the gators.
It belongs to
and
not
never
the
forget
humanity.
it.
Dude, another Florida thing. This one guy, he's who lives in downtown Tampa, which got hit pretty hard.
Oh yeah. They're just north of where it hit. I mean,
it
it's
got
crazy.
He's on TikTok and he's just like, yeah, I live on like the like 30th floor up there. I'm gonna be fine. And he just like TikToked himself throughout the entire store.
What? The whole my guy is live streaming the
He,
entire time?
he live streamed the whole thing, and he's just like, yeah, so like I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of scary up here. Everything is shaking. And
Yeah.
like,
No
he,
shit.
And then when he walks up to like the vent, and he's like, I don't know what this noise is. So he like points it at the vent, and you just hear roaring water. And
Yeah.
then, and another one I saw, which is like this dude in his little kayak, and there's like bubbles forming. He's like, I'm pretty sure those bubbles are from my foundation, and that's how sinkholes are formed. Oh well, we'll see.
Fucking hell.
Floridians, what the fuck? Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, it's insane. Like I don't know exactly what the like average landmass height is in Florida, but it has to be close to zero. Like
I think
like I think the whole peninsula can flood at any moment's notice. Like
yeah, there's some. I think the very northern parts are like higher, but the most of the peninsula.
Yeah,
is
yeah. Well, I
very
mean, yeah,
low.
you're-
It's like I think it's like 10 feet-ish above.
it's fucking
It's like
crazy.
the average or some shit.
It's so insane. Like this hurricane just like walks over it like it's water. Like it's nuts.
Yeah, I believe they showed like an image that said every tree that was below 12 feet in Tampa was underwater.
Yeah.
So like it's very low.
It's insane. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That shit sounds scary as hell.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it's wild because I feel like the best strategy to like surviving one just
Sorry.
Hello.
I fucked up with my camera again.
Oh,
Nice.
did it for us. Wow.
All right, cool. You were saying something. You were saying about
Oh yes, it's scary because I feel like it's weird that the best strategy in like this type of situation is to like have a basement and just like be underneath, I guess. I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
No,
that
you don't wanna be in
no
the basement
shot,
of a
right?
hurricane.
You just fucking
tornado. You want to be under a base.
Sure,
but
sure.
not a hurricane.
Sorry, I was confusing the two. But basically, what I'm saying is like if that's the strategy, that seems fucking bad. Sure, like let's just say it's tornado and not hurricane,
Mhm.
just for the sake of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
example. It feels giga bad because like I feel like if the if the tornado actually goes through your area,
Mhm.
you're just gonna be like buried alive, essentially, right? Like I don't know. It seems I understand that yes, you can't be
You
torn.
could be.
The ground
Mhm.
cannot be torn away.
Yes. Yeah, yes. You get buried, and like I think the whole point is that you've got some kind of a transmitter, and then you wait for rescue services to dig you out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This, I mean, no, not
Yeah,
for, not for when water is involved. You want to be low
Yeah,
to
so,
the ground.
so for the tornadoes, because they form really rapidly,
Mhm.
the basement is, I think, your best option for
Mhm.
sure. But for hurricane, like the best option is just to fucking leave.
Yeah.
Like you
Hurricanes
just
are
drive away,
horrifying.
like
Yeah.
go anywhere else, which is also just a horrible option.
That
because,
is
like,
that's a dog
you know,
option.
you've just like decided to live in this area where your home at any moment could just be like
Deleted.
swept away by water.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
And
it's
I
pretty
think
bad.
as of right now, post hurricane being over, I think it's like 11 million people are displaced, and
Jesus
like
Christ.
I think 3.5 million people have no electricity.
I'm honestly surprised that it's just 3.5 million.
Oh, so the 11 million people haven't
Like-
been home to check their electricity. Just actively right now, people living in the area is like
That's
3.5, and they don't have any electricity.
God damn, that's a lot of people.
We have a ghost.
Scary. But yeah, we had our own little hurricane like last year, right? Hurricane Hillary.
That's right. Yep.
Zelda demanded to take a shit in the middle of Hurricane Hillary. It
Yeah, I
was
mean,
the most annoying experience.
Yeah. What was very interesting about that was like it was incredibly humid before the hurricane hit, right? Which is like very uncommon for LA. I don't think that very much actually happened because of the hurricane. Like there was some damage and I think some landslides as
I
well.
think most of the damage was done to like Baja California and like
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think San Diego had one of the like really famous bluffs just collapse.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So a lot of landslides and stuff. But like your like average Angelino was just kind of like, yeah, it's just fucking rainy.
It's very rainy. It
Very
was very
rainy.
rainy. Like there was like sideways rain at one point
We did-
for sure.
Yeah.
I guess like in protest we got like a little bit of an earthquake.
We got
That's
a pretty
true.
big earthquake, actually.
That's true. Yeah, we got an earthquake during that as well. Yeah,
Dude,
so-
Zelda is immune to earthquakes. Every time she's experienced an earthquake, which is like 2 fairly big ones, right? No reaction. That dog is fucking broken.
Built diff.
That's kind of crazy. Like I always hear stories of like those dogs like freaking out before earthquakes.
Yeah,
They're
all
always
my
like,
friends'
bark,
dogs
bark.
freaked out.
Bark bark.
She just vibed. She's like, I don't give a fuck.
Damn, that's crazy.
But, you know.
She's like fucking my owner. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what's coming by and saying shit.
Ground shake sometime. It's okay.
Yeah, she was born in California. She's
That's true.
plus 10 to earthquake resistance.
The last kind of like big one we've had in LA. Well, like I say big as in like the last one that I felt, right? Which is like, you know, the threshold's like pretty high. But the last one that I actually felt I was in the shower for, which sucked. I was like, oh wow, this is probably the worst place to be in my apartment for this.
Yeah. I know my sister's worst nightmare, according to her words, are I don't ever want to basically her worst nightmare is being in the shower when she dies, because or like when she gets in, you know, in deep medical trouble, because she'd be too embarrassed for the paramedics seeing her naked.
No,
And I'm
dude,
like,
they see
that
all
is
that
like
shit.
a- yeah,
Everything's
that's what
fine.
I'm saying.
exactly. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the most. Those are the people who
Dude, this-
like they'll probably cut your clothes off. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
They give the least amount of shits.
Yeah,
Exactly.
paramedics and EMTs deal with like, you know, like grandmas and shit that fell on their bathroom floor all the time. Like
Yeah.
this is not, you know, this is part of their, you know, the majority of their calls are for elderly people that are like unable to do bodily function
Yeah.
because of, you know, one reason or the
Yeah.
other. So
yeah.
It's like,
My-
sorry, you're not special. We've seen everyone naked.
We've seen
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, this is the most irrational way of like being scared of dying, you know? Like, oh, you would rather, you know, die in a horrible fire or like drown.
Yeah.
But, oh, I don't want to fall in the bathroom because I'm showering because I'll be naked.
yeah. I saw another headline actually that reminded me of you, Hassan, because this sounds like something that would happen to you. The headline is Washington State woman calls 911 after being hounded by up to 100 raccoons.
Explain.
So I remember very clearly a story Hassan told me
Yeah.
a couple of years back. He was walking Zelda in the valley, right? And he was just like in this neighborhood and like, you know, he's just walking Zelda, and all of a sudden there's a coyote, right? And he's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like they usually like run away, right? There's like one coyote. He turns around, 3 more coyotes.
and Zelda, that bitch, no response. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she's like, she like wanted to dab up the fucking coyote.
Anyway, I read that and I was like, wow, this is like the most Hassan shit I've ever heard.
She's like, why, you know, why friend shaped if not friend?
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
I've actually had multiple current like interactions with coyotes. I'm not sure if I ever told this one on the pod, but like I'm pretty sure I told you, Patrick, where Pokemon Go almost got me mauled.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told
As it
me about
usually
this.
does.
Yeah, so this was back when I cared about Pokemon Go, and I very quickly stopped caring about Pokemon Go. But I was
So
like,
the year 2016.
yeah, because it was, you know, I couldn't Pokemon Go to the polls. I wasn't a citizen yet, so
True.
there was no point in me playing that. But I needed to hatch some eggs, so I went on a walk in my parents' neighborhood, and my parents' neighborhood like faces like the wilderness kind of to one side. There's like a lot of farmland, but and I was walking in the middle of the night, and I walk up, and I'm like walking down the path, and lo and behold, there's a coyote
Shiny
pack.
Pikachu.
No, there's a fucking coyote pack directly in front of me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So I do the thing that you're supposed to do, which is like, you know, get big and like kind of run at them, and they're like scaredy cats. No fucking movement.
Not in a pack.
Yeah.
Not
So
in a
I was
pack.
just like, I'm not getting mauled by a fucking coyote. And I had my like hydro flask, like a really big one, like one of the huge ones, and it was filled with water. And I just fucking whacked this shit out of the lead coyote's head. and the thing like yapped and then ran away, and then all the other ones ran away, and I'm like, there you fucking go. And then I kept walking until my egg hatched.
I'm sorry, I forgot about the part where you just kept going.
I already fucked him up. Like, what's he gonna do? Come back for seconds? I'll fuck him up again.
Get his whole squad to come back.
Exactly. Like, I emasculated the lead coyote in front of the whole pack.
That's crazy.
No recovery.
Exactly. Come on, you can't tell me you've not had any other, like, you've never had like a weird animal encounter.
Well, actually, I almost got skunked because of Pokemon Go.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so this is also a 2016 thing. I was playing with Sydney's family, and like at night we were like just going out to like, you know, basically hatch eggs and like find new like little guys, right?
Aww.
And like we went on to this golf course, which like somehow was just open. Like you could just walk onto the golf course,
Red flag.
like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, maybe this wasn't intended, but we're here. And we're just kind of like walking around. We're like finding jack shit, basically. Like nothing is spawning, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of sad because like, well, there's all this grass around. Maybe there's like grass Pokemon and stuff, and there ain't nothing. And so we just kind of like stumble, like we could just kind of like going through. It's like super dark because nobody plays golf at night, so there's no lights. And we kind of like see this
Says
like
the guy
movement.
playing Pokemon Go at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, we're kind of like looking at this like hill, right? And like we see some movement on the hill, and we're like, huh, wonder what that is. Maybe it's like a cat or something. So we like shine the phone light. It's like a full on skunk. It's a pretty big
Yeah.
one, right? And he's like, yo, this is my fucking home. Get
This
this
is my
out of
fucking
here.
golf course.
Yeah. What are you doing? And we're like, uh-oh. So we just kind of like, all right, time to go.
Yeah.
Bogey time.
There's so many
Yeah.
fucking skunks in my neighborhood. It's so annoying.
Yeah, there was a lot of skunks in my parents' neighborhood as well. I think they just had a like huge resurgence during COVID
Mm-hmm.
because like nobody was
Not
outside.
enough cars. Yeah.
Not enough
Unfortunately.
cars.
I think my stupid animal moment was, I'm actually impressed that I'm like alive.
Oh my
Uh-oh.
god.
Well, I mean, I was just being really dumb. So for high school, I went to boarding school, but I mean, I only lived like maybe like a 20-minute drive from like my parents' place, and so what happens is like I lived on campus all 4 years, but like every weekend I can like go out and like visit. Like visit for like maybe 6 hours at a time and then
Mhm.
come back before like a certain hour.
Sure.
And so I left and I came back, and like if you go behind a certain hour, it's like maybe like 10 or like 11 p.m. You have to like call, like there's like some sort of stupid paperwork you have to do the special visit. But I'm back on campus at like 10 a.m. or sorry, like 10 to 11 p.m. And so I send back in on like at the library or whatever, and I start walking back to the dorms, and like this campus, to put it into perspective, is like mostly like kind of not in the woods per se, like, but like the behind it is just a bunch of like hiking and like trails and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like a decent bit of nature behind. But I was pretty surprised because like basically I wasn't really looking where I was going somehow, and I somehow missed that like the library is right here. I'm like walking over like up the stairs, and like at the top of the stairs there's just a fucking bear right there. I was just like,
bear.
what the fuck? That is absolutely crazy. And like it turns out that also, I don't know, there was like other people there, but like obviously not as close as I was.
Yeah.
They just had like walkie-talkies and were maybe like 20-30 feet behind me, and they were shining like big old fucking like lights on it. And so
Yeah.
the fact that like I'm
anti-bear lights on the bear.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I somehow, my dumbass walked up to the library, like signed in, and I did all this while this was going on the whole fucking time. And like, first of all, fuck me for doing that. But second of all, how does like people with like full on like view of the situation with the lights, like no one's like, hey yo, dumbass, don't go that way. Like I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but
They didn't want to scare the bear.
Hey, it's true. Your boarding school sounds nuts.
No, I was kind of an idiot, but I was like maybe like 10, 15 feet away, and I was like, oh shit, that's a bear. And
That's
I just,
really
I kind of
close.
just back the fuck off, and like
White Walk
he was
chased
just
the
kind of
bear.
chill. I don't know. This guy was kind of chill about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bears are chill. He vibed out a bear.
I
officially.
didn't. I actually didn't. Strictly, I did not.
You vibed him out. He didn't do shit to you. He's
He
like,
didn't
yeah,
do
you
shit to
won.
me.
I want you to know this is on. You cannot bite out a bear.
I know, but Will can.
Will can. You cannot.
No, I think they were just trying to like, okay, we don't know what to do. Like, they probably called like animal services or something. But like, they're
Animal Services like, get the anti-bear lights.
That's not what they said. I think they were just trying to get like positioning and maybe try to like hurt it like away from campus and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. God, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, my mom chased a bear. I think I told you this. We were in Yosemite
Why
And then,
chase it though?
because she wanted a photo of it.
Oh.
Oh, that's right.
We
Yeah.
were in Yosemite and we were camping, and she's like, this was before we were like living here, and it's like one of the first times I remember, at least one of the like earliest memories I have of like being in California. And I was with my uncle and my cousins, and we're all like camping there, and a bear showed up to the campsite area, which is like a bunch of other campers were, and my mom had her camera, and she's like, I have one mission, and that's take a picture of California's glorious fat creature. And she started to chase the bear, and the bear's like, lady, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
And she was chasing the bear and taking photos of it, and then eventually the park ranger showed up, and he's just like, don't ever do that again. Like, that's crazy.
But look at the shot.
They were shit photos, too, because she was running.
Probably blurry as fuck.
Yeah.
Half of them probably had the thumb like on the on the lens.
Dude, it's like a fucking, it's like a Blair Witch, but in reverse. It's the bear. It's the creature running away.
It's
from
Bear
the-
Witch.
Fucking terrible.
But yeah, that was animal encounters of the third kind.
Yeah. So I got a little bit of an animal for you guys today.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I want to bring up.
Something that has an AOE god, please.
No, it's not an AOE god.
Another single target.
It's another single
Dude, we have
targeter.
enough single target fucking classes out here. We
At
need
least
Yeah.
cleave. At
I
least cleave.
got something that can cleave as well if you'd prefer
what does
that.
cleave do? I know I have it.
It hits multiple targets.
Oh.
It basically means you can like you have single targety stuff, but also can hit stuff next to it.
I have the cleave though. I think I
Yeah.
have.
Interesting, because it's usually like an
cleave?
arms warrior thing, not a fury warrior thing.
Oh, I mean, I have if I press 2, I do whirlwind.
Yeah, whirlwind. Yeah, whirlwind will make your next abilities cleave.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Anyway, well, let's talk about the more AOE version, which is the clownfish.
They got an AOE.
They got kind of AOE, kind of
Now
sort
we're
of.
talking. Now we're talking.
Kinda
I
sorta,
mean, they
right?
got multiple single targets that
Multiple
can
single
happen at the same
targets.
time.
Yeah. Which is it's okay. So the clownfish is kind of interesting. So I don't think you've ever been more disappointed in me than this very moment. Actually,
You're bringing up clownfish, and I saw this video on Twitter of a guy who purchased a clownfish recently. And then he touched, it's like, they come with a little plastic bag, and he touched the plastic bag, and it poked him through the plastic bag, and he fucking
with a
KO'd.
clownfish.
Not clownfish. What are they, like, I guess lionfish or something?
Oh, the
Yeah,
lionfish.
he like held it and
Oh.
it poked him through the plastic
Are you
bag,
fucking
and he
Oh.
just collapses in the middle of
Yeah.
the pet store. And I think I watched that video like 14 times.
Oh my
You gotta send me that. That's
Yeah, I will.
hilarious. I think the lionfish is a sea. It's
a
like a
sea.
sea fish, right? You
Yeah.
gotta, dude. People that have like saltwater aquariums are psychos.
People that
Like that shit's so
honestly,
difficult.
genuinely, I feel like people that have fish, like I'm just like kind of what are we doing, girly pop? Like,
are we
I don't-
doing?
I was gonna get some fish.
Yeah,
recently,
he wants fish.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You can like corner it and then pet it.
okay,
No, I don't wanna do that,
Unnamed
that's
friend of mine,
mean.
she this is really
On
into unnamed friend of mine.
Unnamed
she
friend,
keeps
okay.
getting fish, And I say keeps getting because they don't make it very long.
That's so
far.
sad.
Why is she
Really?
getting fish?
I'm like,
No.
oh, please don't do this. Like, can you not?
Something's wrong with
Do
the
I know this
aquarium.
person?
Maybe indirectly.
No, you got something's wrong with the aquarium.
Well,
You
it's,
gotta.
like, it's like beta fish or I forget. what
Okay,
the-
I
well
only
the
buy
beta,
alpha fish,
if
sorry.
she gets
Shut the fuck up.
if it's more than one beta, they do fight.
I
So,
think it's just the one, and they don't.
oh
like,
no.
I don't know.
Oh, someone's got to be up with the
I'm
aquarium.
like, well, the thing is, like, oh, fish died again. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, do you know what was wrong? She's like, nah. I'm gonna go get another one though.
well, you
I'm
got
like,
you got to
what?
test her shit for chemicals and
I
whatnot.
grew up with
There's-
fish and frogs and stuff, and then I got Felix, my cat, and he learned that he can fish them out of the water.
Classic
And
cat.
he doesn't kill them. He just does it. For fun. He like fishes it out of the water and then like lets it slide
That's-
on the floor.
That's the most cat
And then he
shit.
like fucks around with it and
That's-
he leaves it for like the the person who wakes up in the morning to go into
like,
the
"Oh,
kitchen
they're fucking
and you just
dead."
have like this horror show.
that's the most cat shit ever.
It's like what the fuck,
That's
dude?
actually really
And he
funny.
did this multiple times. And actually, like we had like a locking,
Fish tank?
aquarium, and he would get angry and like would bite at it and like scratch it because like he wants to get to the fucking
Right.
fish.
Because I want to
Dude.
fucking reverse drown them.
Yes.
That's the most cat shit ever, though. Just like, oh yes, I can inflict pain but not kill. Let me do that.
Yeah, it's so fucked
like-
up. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
okay. So clownfish, also known as the anemone fish, right? Because anemone fish. They
No.
huh?
What?
What?
Anemone.
Anemone.
Anyway,
Okay,
they're
I want to go play WoW. Continue.
okay. So they have a symbiotic relationship with the anemone, right? And a sea anemone is something that like has these little like they're kind of like little fingers. They're like little fronds, but they're like poisonous to things that touch them, right? Except for the clownfish, right? The clownfish has like some mucus on it, or the anemone itself like doesn't sting the clownfish specifically because it's like that clownfish is going to help me out, right? So the clownfish is like, there are various colors, but the most famous one is orange and white, right? So it's mostly orange and has a couple white stripes. And basically the thought is that the clownfish lures some fish towards the sea anemone because it's bright and shiny, right? And the anemone goes, boop, that fish mine now, right? And the clownfish is responsible for like kind of like cleaning up the anemone, right? And it like gets most of its food from that area. It's an omnivore, so whatever the anemone doesn't like finish up, right? The clownfish is like, that's my lunch, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
And then the clownfish, its excrement actually is good for the anemone. It like gives it nutrients that it needs as
fertilizer?
well. Yeah. So it's like it's a very interesting symbiotic relationship.
Dude, I wish humans had a symbiotic relationship with things. Not the fucking mitochondria.
The powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah. It's not. It's like a bacteria. It used to be bacteria.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it ejected itself into a eukaryotic cell.
Yeah.
And like then the eukaryote's like,
And
actually
it's-
this fucking shit's making fucking power. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
It basically got a
That's
caffeine
sick.
shot. I was like, whoa, wait,
Yeah.
hold on,
So that's-
stay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Hold on, wait.
I'm gonna let you
Oh,
cook.
Actually, really cool. I mean, that's why you can check if people do DNA tests.
Mhm.
The more accurate DNA test is mitochondrial because it only comes from your
Interesting.
mother. Because
Wow.
the egg cell has the mitochondria in it. The sperm cell does not.
Wow. Cool. Very interesting. Yeah. But I figured I'd point out clownfish.
Clown shit.
They're very cool. The other fish I wanted
They're
to talk
really
about was
bad at,
tuna.
taking care of their kids. I hear you have to find them.
That's right. Yeah.
You're an enemy.
You are an
An
enemy. Yes.
anemone.
Yes. So yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye bye.
Bye. Gotta
Bye-bye.
go kill more fish.
No.